Hi guys, how you doing? I kind of missed y'all. Okay, it's been a while, but y'all, I was just getting ready for a big one, and today's video is big. It's a heavy topic, another motivation video, y'all. I'm gonna be talking about depression. Yes, you see, that's why I said it's heavy. So I know a lot of you watch my channel and not subscribe, but if you like what you're seeing, if you like all the motivation video, you can go ahead and subscribe, because today we need all of the motivation that we can get hold of. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Esther with On Your Look. My channel is all about self-awareness, self-love, health, beauty, makeup, and with a total control of your mind, which is very important because you cannot walk the streets without having all of that. I'm pretty much into everything that brings empowerment to the human, and I have a master's degree in public health. So when I do a lot of research, I do that due diligence to bring it here, motivate all of you guys out there, because we need this. Okay, the world is not fair, but you need all the motivation to go through it strong. So please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up and leave me comments. Hit the notification button, because that's how you see updates or receive updates on new videos that I post. Okay, so what is depression? Depression is very hard topic to deal with. This was one of the topics that it took me a lot to actually come up with, but it's a very heavy topic because pretty much every one of us go through a phase of depression. But I'm here to tell you the ways you can overcome depression. I'm gonna go into a detailed definition of depression, and this is by the book, because we're meant to understand that depression is a mood disorder that causes persistent sadness and loss of interest. That's pretty much what depression is. You know, sometimes we have days we don't want to get up. We have days we don't feel like doing anything, or we don't feel like even being an adult. If you're a parent, we have days we don't want to be a parent. If you're a child, we have days we don't want to go to school. You don't feel like getting up from the bed. You don't feel like getting up to cook. You don't feel like getting up to do your normal day-to-day activities, which is completely normal. Okay? So, but when it comes to depression, this is something that has been occurring over and over. If you listen to my definition, I mean, it states the persistent feeling. So meaning these feelings are persistent. So you have been going through this for a long time, and this is where I call it depression. Okay? Because when this happens for a long time, it can actually affect the way you feel about life. It can affect the way you do things. It affects pretty much everything about you. So I'm gonna break it down, and we're gonna talk about the causes and then the symptoms and how we can overcome this depression. While we don't know what really causes depression, a lot of things can link to its development. Depression results from a combination of events. It could be something that happened recently, it could be a long-term event, something that happened in the past, or it could be different factors. So many things contribute to depression. So I wouldn't say you have depression as a result of something that just happened at the immediate hour, or just happened at that minute or seconds that you were sitting to look at the situation. Depression doesn't happen. It's as a result of something that occurred in the past, or as a result of something that, or hurt, something that you harbored in your heart for a long time and not willing to let it go. So this is when we check into depression. What are the main causes of depression? Because there are so many factors that may increase one's chances of getting depressed. And one of them is abuse. Maybe in the past you were sexually assaulted, or you were physically abused, or as a child you were abused and you've carried it for a long time and not let it go. It can be a constant reminder, and it make you feel inferior or feel like you're worthless, and that alone can increase the chances of getting depressed. So if one has been abused, there's a lot that has to be done, especially self-healing. If that is not done, that keeps increasing their chance of getting depressed. And there are a lot of treatments out there, there are a lot of resources, there are therapy. You know, you can seek help to make sure that you are healed from the past, and then your heart is whole again to move on in life, happy and not constantly experiencing depression. And the next one could be family history. When it comes to family history, it could be related to, a certain sickness that's in the gene, or a certain addict that's in the family, and then you're scared that you're going to carry that forward, and constantly reminds you how that is going to transfer to you and your children. So family history play another major role with keeping people depressed. And like I said on my previous video, it's very important to constantly check your thoughts and see if your thoughts are keeping you depressed. Because when it comes to depression, if you want to examine what it's all about, it's what is playing in your mind, okay? Whatever that's playing in your mind, you're thinking about it. And if it's something negative, it's actually going to put you in a depressed mood. Another factor that can cause depression or increase the chances of being depressed is the death or loss of loved ones, and that is completely normal, y'all. I've gone through loss before, and I understand the grief, so especially when you lose someone that you love so much, it hurts so bad that it takes a while for you to come out of that. But when you lost a loved one, and it's okay to seek therapy, it's also okay to go counseling, okay? Talk to someone that can help you through the process, because if you don't do that, it means you're not ready to be healed from it. Yes, we are going to grieve, but we cannot grieve forever. There are ways you can grieve, but you can't let that grief get into you to the point that you can't do anything. Because when depression sets in, it causes a lot of damage to ourselves, okay? It can make you hurt yourself, and that is what we have to avoid. So if you lost a loved one, or you experience any death somewhere, please seek counseling. Please go to therapy, okay? Make sure you try to get your heart healed, okay? Because the last thing you want is to stay depressed for a long time. It will destroy you on the inside. So try to make sure you get the help that you need. Certain medication might cause you to be depressed. I'm not a doctor, so I cannot start naming all those medications that can put you in a depressed mood, but there are a lot of medication that contributes to increase your chances of getting depressed. So you want to check every medication that you're being given to by the doctor. When you go visit the doctor and you prescribe the medication, please make sure you do yourself that favor to research that prescription. Look for its side effects and look at all of those stuff. Ask the doctor questions. If depression is one of the side effects, please try as much as you can not to take those medications. Ask your doctor for a replacement. So this is just so we avoid anything that is going to increase our chances of getting depressed. Another thing is conflict, maybe conflict with family members or conflict at work. We don't know how to handle this conflict, and then we are going into depression because we don't know how to handle it, okay? So when this happens, you can seek counseling. These are the stuff that you can do to get yourself stay sane enough to handle any conflicts that you're experiencing in your relationships. We go through depression maybe because we're in the wrong marriage, or maybe we're going through a divorce, or maybe we're just generally in the wrong place or with the wrong person. So this can cause us to go through depression, and all of these are life situations. These are normal. We don't know what life throws at us, but we have to be ready for all of this. We have to build our resilience in order to overcome all of these situations when they're thrown at us, okay? There are life events that contribute to increasing our chances of getting depressed. One of them could be unemployment. Maybe you lost your job, or you were in an abusive relationship, or you were in a relationship where there's no love. And especially in this pandemic, the things going on that will affect us and increase our chances of getting depressed if we're not careful or asking or seeking the right help that we need. Because in this pandemic, a lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people have lost loved ones to this coronavirus. And this is the time you need that strong support system to help you through, because you're vulnerable to checking into depression, okay? Because this life event with personal factors are main triggers to increase our chances of getting depressed. And some personal factors could be like I said, family history. So maybe in your gene there's a history of disease or addiction, and then you're scared that that's going to pass on to you and your children. And if you haven't dealt with some long-term stressors, that is an increased chance of getting depressed, and we don't want that. Our personality also plays a key role in increasing our chances of getting depressed or checking into depression. And this could be anywhere from worrying a lot. So if you're the type that worry all the time, there's a high chance that you're gonna check into depression. Or if you have a low self-esteem, that's a very key factor there that can increase your chance of checking into depression. Or if you lost self-confidence, these are all personalities that can increase our chances of getting depressed. And we're gonna do all we can to make sure that we are not leaning towards that direction, because depression is as heavy and as strong as how you allow it to be. I know sometimes I sound a little harsh, but I'd rather get it straight up than sugarcoat anything. So on my channel, I am not all about sugarcoating words. I'll tell you the reality of it. I will tell you how it is, and so you understand how powerful what you're doing is, or you understand how important it is to change your lifestyle, or to seek help, or do all you can to come out of whatever depressive state that you are. Another personal factor that might increase our chances of depression is maybe a chronic illness that has been with you for a long term, and you've got to a point where you just gave up and you don't even have anyone to take care of you. You don't have any family members around you. So that is enough to check you into depression. But I'm telling you, you can come out of that depression. Do not let any illnesses, any chronic illness make you check into depression, because we can go through it strong. Okay. Drug and alcohol use is another personal factor that increases our chances of depression. This is very common when you experience loss. This is very common when you experience a heartbreak. It's common when you are in a very abusive relationship, or you're going through a divorce. This can happen when you lost your job, what you experience any type of loss. And it's sometimes okay, because like I'm gonna tell you, it's a temporary relief. It just relieves you at that moment, but the next minute you're gonna have all your problems in front of you. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna keep drinking and getting yourself into drugs and getting to a point where you're abusive? That's not the permanent solution to overcoming those problems. The most important thing is for you to face those problems, face your fears, and seek the help that you need. Seek for counseling, seek for therapy. There are a lot of resources, especially in the United States, that helps people go through whatever they're going through. You just have to be willing to ask for help and not keep it on the inside. Because what makes you brave is that you have a lot that you're dealing with, and you take that bold step to ask for help and not keep it on the inside, because it's all gonna help destroy you, and you're gonna end up wanting to take the shortest cut, and which is this. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to lose anybody over that. So depression, you can go see the doctor and you can get treated for it. Okay. To overcome depression, it helps to know the fact. Okay, depression is not just being lazy. Depression is actually a diagnosed, a medical condition. So there's some symptoms that are considered symptoms that leads to depression. So you can have 5 of the symptoms for you to be diagnosed with depression, and I'm going to talk about it with you. If you notice that your mood is irritable for 2 weeks, you need to check yourself, okay? Because this is not something that should be normal for 2 weeks, that your moods, everything irritates you. If you notice change of interest, especially in the things that you enjoy doing every day, or you experience low motivation for 2 weeks, this is a significant factor that should tell you that I should look into myself again, or I should go see a doctor. Okay, because it's not normal for you to stay straight up 2 weeks with loss of interest, especially in things that you love to do. So imagine I have school and I have to study, or I have exam and I have to study. And this is stuff that I usually love to do. And I see myself in 2 weeks not wanting to do that, not wanting to pick up my books. That's an indicator that, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? Could I be depressed? You know? And that's when you try to go seek help or see a doctor to check with you and see if everything is okay. If you experience excessive guilt, or you feel that you're guilty of anything that you do, or you experience a low self-esteem for 2 weeks straight, you need to check again. You need to go see the doctor, because these are symptoms that can lead to depression. If you constantly take your bath twice a day, every day, and then you see yourself, or you notice yourself not wanting to take a shower, or practicing self-care like you usually do for 2 weeks straight, then that's an indicator, okay, for you to go see the doctor, because that is not normal for you to stay 2 weeks without self-care. Self-care is imperative to our health. This is especially for students or children that are going to school. If a teacher notice a child's grade is declining, or performance in school is declining, that's a key indicator for the teacher to alert the parent, because the parent might not know what the child is going through. Or if you're an adult taking classes, or your grades are declining, and you notice you just lost interest in doing your schoolwork, it's an indicator for you to see a doctor, seek help. Okay, the earlier you take care of all these key factors or all these symptoms, it helps to reduce your chances of getting into that depression state. If you see yourself getting overly anxious and you notice anxiety for straight up 2 weeks or more, that is also another indicator that you should see a doctor or see a counselor, because all of these symptoms, if you have 4, 5, 6 of them at a time, that is key indicator that you're experiencing depression. The most important of this all, if you notice that you're suicidal, please seek help. Go seek help. If any time you are thinking any suicidal thoughts, please seek for help. But I'm gonna say this, not everyone who's experiencing depression that have suicidal thoughts, but if you ever have those thoughts or it crosses your mind, please seek help. Okay, go to the hospital, talk to a doctor, talk to a counselor, and get the help that you need. Okay, please do not let depression escalate to the point where you're thinking suicide. Please, you are very valuable and you are worth everything. Don't let depression think that you're worthless. You're a very important person. The world needs you. So if you're going through anything, please seek help. Get the counseling that you need to take care of any problems, because there are people that can help you through it. You are not alone in this, okay? All right, guys, enough of the heavy talk. Depression alone is a very heavy topic to talk about, because I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I haven't been depressed before, but it hasn't got to a point that I have to go see a doctor, because I constantly train my mind to check my thoughts. I might go through different experiences or things at work, something might happen to me, but it's okay to think at that moment, or to feel angry, or to cry. It's okay to feel all of this emotion at the very moment that you're going through that. But when you make it a recurring event, that's a total different ballgame. I have trained myself and my mind to get to the point that if I'm experiencing any sadness, if I'm experiencing any emotional problem, I know who to talk to. I definitely talk to someone. I don't keep it on the inside, okay? Because it's very dangerous when you keep everything to yourself. One day you're just gonna explode, boom. Okay, so, and people handle stress differently. The way I handle it might not be the way another person handles it, okay? So it's very important that we have those resources at our disposal, so whenever we're going through any of this emotional roller coaster, we know where to fall back to, okay? So the most important part of this video was to tell you guys how to overcome depression, because you can overcome depression, okay? You can overcome it. There isn't a quick fix that, boom, you are cured from depression. No. It's gonna take constant practice, but I'm gonna share with you some techniques that you can use, to get over those emotional paralysis that occurs and that sends you to depression. Take a different view of things. With depression always come with this psychological myopia. We are not able to see far. All we see is for right now. So take a different view of how you see things. Everything comes down to positive mindset, okay? If you always rehearsing negative thoughts, please, I need you to see a different view of things. I need you to see the positive side of life. Stop rehearsing negative thoughts. For example, if you continuously say you are a failure, I need you to change it to say you are a success. You can experience success. If you constantly say nothing I do works out, I need you to change it to everything I do is going to work out perfectly fine. I need you to change that mindset, change that negative thought that says I'm not worthy to I am worthy. Change that mindset that said I am nothing to I am something. Change the mindset that says people hate me, I am not loved, to people love me, I am loved, because you are loved, okay? You have to have an open mind, okay, to life. If you were experiencing or expecting something, have that open mind that even if you don't get this thing that you were expecting and something else comes, you can as well appreciate that thing that comes even though it's not what you were expecting, okay? You need to have that open mind to see things, view things different, okay? Instead of continuously convincing yourself that everything is hopeless, or you cannot come out of that predicament, or you cannot come out of that sickness, or you cannot come out of that debt, or you cannot come out from that bad marriage, or you cannot come out of that addiction, or you cannot come out of anything, I need you to focus on having a plan B, because there's always plan B. Make sure you look at other options. Never tell yourself you cannot come out of anything. Yes, because yes, you can. Okay, you just have to tell yourself that. That is a constant reminder that you have to do to yourself. Always speak positive thoughts. Always tell yourself the positive things, even when sometimes your mind or your thoughts or what you see is telling you that. Just tell yourself it will be okay. Someday it will be fine, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you this. One time I had to go away from my family, not because it was a choice, but it was work related. That was the first time I ever left my kids. When I tell you, the thought of it alone was depressing, but I had to tell myself, this is something that I cannot ignore. This is something I cannot run away from. I have to go. Okay, the job calls for me to go. I have to go. But then I have to set realistic goals for myself. I have to set goals that will keep me busy from the thoughts of missing my children. Okay, and I went through that job for 7 months, and I came back, and everything was fine. I didn't miss my family, but I went through. I was depressed, but I didn't stay depressed. It was just a phase of it, but I came out of it. So it's the same thing I'm telling you. Always view things different. Set realistic goals. If it doesn't work, keep trying and giving yourself or open your mind to something different or something new. Okay, don't see yourself as worthless. Just because you failed one time don't make you a constant failure. Okay, life is what you put into it. Please put the best so you can get the best out of it. Okay, let's not put depression into life so we don't get depression out. Okay, this is another way you can overcome depression, by viewing things different. Okay, if you notice that you're going through an emotional roller coaster, or something has happened and is going to try to trigger some depression, you can always sit back and think about the happy moments. And I know once in your life you were happy, there were excitement. Think about those days that you were happy. Think about those things that makes you happy. If you're married and your marriage is running off course, think about how you met your spouse. Think about the good times. Okay, if you're in a relationship, think about the good and the bad. I'll see if the good outweighs the bad, and if the good outweighs the bad, see how you can go back to settling whatever conflict. Or if the bad outweighs the good, well, that's going to be another topic for next time. But sit back and reassess the situation and think about something that makes you happy, because laughter is very important to overcoming depression. If you cannot come up with something that makes you happy, you can watch a funny video, a funny movie, or whatever, that makes you happy. So because one of the videos you can watch is Madia. So Madia, oh my gosh, you can never go wrong with Madia. If you watch Madia, you're gonna be so lifted and you're gonna be laughing your soul. Okay, you can watch these funny comedians. I don't have to mention their names, you know it all. Look for something that makes you happy, to lift your spirit out of that emotional situation that could lead to depression. Okay, so anytime you are going through something and you're experiencing any ill thought in your mind, or your mind keep telling you negative stuff, like all the bad things, you can actually talk to yourself and tell yourself, mind, you can think whatever you want, but I'm going to tell you today, I'm not a failure, I'm not boring, I am excellent, I am smart, I am an overcomer, I'm a winner, and I'm going to overcome your depression. You can actually tell yourself that. These are good stuff that you can tell yourself. So tell yourself good stuff. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself something good about you, because you are not a bad person. It is circumstance or situation that led you to where you are, or what you have tried to become, but that's not you. Another thing that you can do is to make plans. Very important, make plans, because someone that is going through depression always want to stay in bed, want to have their curtains down, want to have the lights turned off, pretty much isolation. So when you have plans, you have the right friends, they're gonna come around and they're gonna lively you up. If there's a word like that. Okay, you want to make plans. The days that you cannot carry on your own, you have friends to help you up. Always find something to look forward to. Okay, find something to look up to. That's why I said set realistic goals, set achievable goals. This is something that you can look up to, look forward to. Okay, if you are a mother, okay, set goals with your kids. What are your plans? What are you going to do tomorrow? Every day have some activities. If you are working, what are your plans? You can choose to volunteer. These are extra things that can take you out, or that can keep you from being idle. Okay, set realistic goals. And if you practice all of this, there's no way depression is going to come near you, because you're making that conscious effort not to let it overtake you. Instead, you are going to overcome it, because you can do it. You have the power to, and you will overcome depression. Okay, never go in this world, in this life, letting depression to take over you. Don't do that. Don't do that. You have the power to overcome it. If for any reason you tried all of this and it still didn't work, I would say seek medical attention. Okay, make sure you go see a doctor, a counselor. Talk to them about what is going on and see if there are ways to help you out. Okay, because the last thing you want to do is sit at home and try to figure things on your own if you haven't got to the point or to that level where you can handle it on your own. Okay, so but what I'm saying is this: there are ways you can use to overcome depression, which I've just stated in this video. Okay, you see things different, have a different view of life. You're going to say good stuff about yourself, and you're going to think about those happy moments, especially if you're experiencing sadness. Okay, and you're going to speak all the positivity to yourself. And if you've tried all of this, it still doesn't work, then you can see a doctor. Okay, it's very important that you take care of yourself. Depression is not good. Okay, you can do this. We can get out of depression together by taking one step at a time, by getting up from bed and saying to depression, today you are not taking a hold of me. Okay, I am in charge here. Okay, always talk like you're a winner, because that's who you are. Okay, thank you guys for watching. I hope I'm able to share tips for you to overcome depression. Depression is not something that you want to stay in. Depression is not a diagnosis that you want to have. It's something you can try on your own to overcome it. Okay, it starts with your thoughts. It starts with, I know when all the circumstances and all the situations attack you, it seems like you don't have time to think about it. But if you have been practicing positive minded, not negative thoughts. It would help you overcome most of these challenges. Okay, sometimes we just gotta sit back and relax and just smile at the situation. It's not easy, but if you keep practicing, you're gonna be good at doing it, and you even get to a point where you check it into depression. Wake up every day and have something to look forward to. Wake up every day, have something to smile every day. Make sure that there is laughter in your day. If there's no way you can get laughter, watch movies, videos, comedy. Watch all of that can make you laugh. Okay, practice seeing things in a different view. Okay, practice open-mindedness. All of this stuff can help you overcome depression, or can help you not even get to the point where you're depressed or depressed for a long time. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you to all my subscribers. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. And please don't forget to subscribe. Okay, I see you next time on my channel, on your love. You stay safe. Bye.